Okay, I don't want this to take too long. I know I said I was supposed to finish the entire chapter, but if you've been keeping up with my stuff, I have problems. So I'm gonna finish this chapter, and that is already a tall order. So we're starting from chapter 7. At least that's where I'm supposed to start. The most amiable and hyperallergenic dog, the rich man said firmly. 4 consultants had pointed out that if the rich man's sons were sent far from his presence, it might seem as if they had never been born at all. Once the rich man had ruled out filicide, being possessed of a tender heart, the consultant devised a quest, a kind of beta experiment, to see if the rich man's quality of life was improved with no sons underfoot. The rich man's 3 sons agreed in the end to do as their father asked. The oldest said, "Our father has accumulated so much money that even if he must name one of us his successor, the other 2 will never want for anything." The middle son said, "Possibly our father is suffering from dementia, but at least his request though bizarre, is harmless." And the youngest said, "It isn't as if I have anything better to do." Wow, he said that. My teeth is so yellow. I need to get a toothbrush. I just threw my toothbrush away. The sons bid each other goodbye, agreeing that whichever one brought home the most charming dog, the other 2 would be good sports about the whole thing. The 2 older sons had many adventures during the next year, but it was with the youngest son we are concerned, because he harbored romantic notions about America and the road. He borrowed his father's cherry red roadster and set off with an old copy of Kerouac and a small duffel bag of dog treats. He had no particular destination in mind. In fact, without realizing it, he behaved as he habitually did when he played video games, which was to pleasurably explore a new environment. Pages. fortune, I won't be able to go to 9. And see what it had to offer. He visited suburban strip mall, pet stores, animal shelters, convention center dog shows, breeders of every stripe. And thus, in the first 3 weeks of his journey, he came across many delightful dogs. And often he drove away with a puppy even more adorable and lovable than any he had previously encountered. Eventually, because the roadster was too small to hold all of his dogs, he bought an old camper van and had a carpenter furbish it with cabinetry so that each dog would have its own berth. The roadster he pulled behind on a trailer hitch. In the camper he slept at rest stops and campgrounds, and as he traveled he posted updates on Facebook and then checked over and over again to see if his brothers had liked them. But the end of the first month, the rich man's youngest son was in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. Where rumor had it, there was a kennel owner who had successfully crossbred fennec foxes with teacup spaniels. I'm sure that means cocker spaniels, but you know, teacups are really small. He paid a small fortune for a silky red puppy with enormous paws and ears. The rest so negligible. He drove away with it sleeping inside his coat pocket. As he passed through the town of Creed, it began to snow heavily, and the road became treacherous. He had never before been responsible for anyone else. Now his car was full of dogs, all of whom loved him, and most of whom needed house training. Too productive of anxiety. To his surprise, he was discovering that being loved could be just as productive of anxiety as lack of it was. When he consulted a map, he found he was near the part of Colorado where his mother's family had once owned a ranch. The youngest son had few memories of his mother. His father had won full custody after the divorce, and not long afterward, his mother moved back to Colorado, only to die in a car accident on a rainy night. She'd been decapitated in a highway collision with a poultry truck. After the funeral, the oldest brother had told the youngest that the reason for the closed casket was because they never found her head. Or was it that they'd never found her body? And so the casket contained only her head. Alright, I'm going to stop there. I'm on page 9. And I'm stopping there because you can see I'm having difficulty. And that is why I'm stopping. But I'm going to introduce the next book. I've decided I'm going to just simultaneously read that book and read as many books as I decide, because I just want to read books. Okay. Alright. That is it. This book is called Long Division by Kiese, Laymon, a novel. So yeah, again, for no particular reason, I just found myself with this book. Chitlin City. This is Chitlin City. I'm gonna title this pages 7 to 9, White Cat Black Dog / Long Division, page 1, just as a preview. In the next video I should be reading 1 again and then continue, maybe. Sphincter. Lavender Peeler's father said from the driver's seat. Use it. Sphincter. Lavender Peeler started. A tight sphincter can be a sign of. The Astro van started veering over to the side of I-55, and Lavender Peeler Sr. clicked the emergency lights on. Boy, what'd I tell you? He smacked Lavender Peeler right below his heart and grabbed a fistful of Izod. Izod is a brand of male clothing. It don't matter if you think you know the word. That's what the white folks think you're supposed to do. Don't be too God-gone eager. Act like you got some sense. Lavender Peeler cut his wet eyes to me in the back seat. Don't worry about that, boy, he told him. Y'all play too much. This is bigger than both of y'all. I want you to do exactly like them winners. Lavender Peeler Sr. sat back in the driver's seat and placed his hand on his son's knee. Ask for the pronunciation. Ask for the etymology, just like the Indians do. So the word back, say the word back to them as proper as you can. Say, I am going to use sphincter in a sentence now. No going or gonna. Oh, no going or gonna. You are going to or you shall. And then you say the sentence as slowly as you can. I'm talking about a whole second in between each word, LP. Smile too. If you want to talk with the doggone judges, don't break no verbs. Just say, well, all things considered. Then say what you got to say. Toss some composure and thoughtfulness at the ass too. So that was page 1 and me completing the sentence. Oh, that was page 21 and I'm ending this preview on page 22. Completing the sentence started on page 21 of Long Division by Kiese, Laymon, and yeah. So I'm gonna be like I have this entire file. So in that book reading file is gonna be this book, and it's going to be White Cat, Black Dog, by Kelly something. But yeah. So there's gonna be 2 in there. I shouldn't do this only because I want all of the videos to be in order. But I guess I'll just have to maybe create 2 different playlists, one for each book for right now. Alright. Before I fall asleep on camera.